Welcome back to Trust the Process, Quarantine Trust the Process, episode 2 for this. I'm Keith Manzi alongside Mike Yazji and Skylar Chase. No, I guess I can't technically say alongside, but in the same city as. How about that?
Alongside.
You guys are here somewhere. Where are you guys at today?
I'm in Jack's Beach right now. Is that technically a different city?
You know what? For
Yes,
the sake
it
of
is.
the podcast, we're gonna say no. But geographically, they have their own mayor. They have their own police force. So yeah, I guess technically yes.
It's like Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. I've seen some people now get back on that from
I'm
Twitter.
playing it on my phone.
You're playing it?
On my phone. Yeah, it's on my phone. It's pretty
Nice.
fun.
But
Where you at, Mike?
I'm currently at home in my kind of office right now. Still trying to get it together over here, but not too bad.
And I'm in my office as well. And we got a pretty fun-filled episode for you. With the lack of sports, there's not that much to talk about in that regard, but we're going to talk about Yannick Ngakoue. We're going to talk about the news on the NFL draft. Skylar mentioned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey in our pre-podcast talk, so we're going to talk about those jerseys and what we think. And then we'll dive into some fun stuff, a little bit about the Michael Jordan documentary, and so on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right in. Mike, do you happen to have those tweets up by chance?
Yeah, I can get it up real quick. So, I'm assuming you're talking about Yannick?
Yes, we are. Yannick Ngakoue just doing what he's doing best lately, which is just chirping on Twitter.
Well, so he got, I'm sure everyone is now hopefully aware of it, but if not, he went on ESPN's NFL Live show earlier today, and they interviewed him about his current contract situation with the Jaguars and the organization, and he said these comments: I really want to be a part of a team that has a great culture. Winning is a habit, and I don't want to be with a team where losing is a norm of anything of that nature. I want to be a part of something special. He also added that he believes he's a top 5 defensive end. He wants to also play in more primetime games. He said, quote, if I end up landing on a team that's prime time, hopefully I can show the world what I can do. Those are some of the comments he said on NFL Live, and I thought those were uncalled for shots against the franchise.
Well, one thing I hate about players is they always talk about teams with winning cultures, and that truly doesn't really exist except for in a few instances, like where the Patriots obviously the most recent one, but our most recent Super Bowl winner, Kansas City Chiefs, prior to the season before, they had not won a playoff game before, like the 90s. The Eagles got their first Super Bowl in a while, and if you go down the list, the other team was the Seahawks. They got their first Super Bowl. So the winning culture thing doesn't make sense because you create that culture from within, obviously, and it's only for short periods of time. It's very rare for it to last. The only teams I would maybe exclude or include in the winning culture aspect would be like Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers, and then the Patriots, because you can't really look at any of their seasons and think those three have been bad. And I'm sure there's a few other teams, but the winning culture thing's just stupid, in my opinion.
Are you saying that the Steelers have a winning culture right now?
No, not right now, but I'm just saying if you're talking broadly about winning cultures, the Steelers have dominated the AFC North with the Ravens, so you can't really deny that because, it's easy to pick on the Bengals and the Browns. So they've always been at the top, and that's the same thing with the Patriots. They've been at the top of their division for the past 2 decades because of Tom Brady and how they just know how to handle the teams in that division. So it's not necessarily a culture thing, too. It's just the teams within that division. For our division, the Colts were annoying when they had Manning, but I wouldn't say they had a winning culture because they had great players. Because once the players left, their culture didn't stay. It's not a thing that stays with the team. It's the team, the players that makes the team that creates the culture.
Okay. Well, take for example, those teams that you listed, but would you say a team like the Saints or like the Packers or maybe the 49ers as of recent, would you say those teams have like a winning culture? Because the Packers, I'm picking on them because I know them the best of those. They have had maybe a few down years in this Aaron Rodgers era, but for the most part, they've been winning the division, going to the playoffs. Would that constitute a winning culture, or do they have to win multiple championships in order to have that?
I mean, I guess I would include that one, but like for, like a team like the Bears, I wouldn't include. They have a historic past with dominant defenses and such, but they haven't quite had a culture that just stayed there. They have that stigma about the '85 Bears that always will stay with the city, but they haven't really done anything. And the Packers, they've been able to stay consistent, but like you said, they had a couple down years. But there's exceptions, sure, but it's very rare. And like the fact that some of these players just want to go to another team that's like solidified or whatever, it's almost like a Kevin Durant cop out too. But it's just funny because like Ramsey was in the same situation. He was super excited to go to the Rams, and that winning culture that they had immediately is gone, and they're not going to win anything within the next couple of years unless if they get lucky. I don't see it, at least.
And not with the 49ers and the Seahawks in that division. I don't think so.
Yeah, and even the DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray Cardinals.
Yeah.
See, what I know you're saying, like, with the championships and stuff, like for the winning culture, I kind of disagree with that because the Colts were, when they were dominating the division for at least 10, 15 years, that was a winning culture. Granted, they only had one Super Bowl win and two Super Bowl appearances, but they were consistently in the playoffs, consistently in the AFC Championship game, and they were constantly winning games no matter what. And like other teams, like for example, the Eagles, I know you brought them up, and that's where it looks like Yannick wants to go to, in terms of what team he would pick if he had the choice. But like the reason why I think he's sick of being in Jackson was because we are one of the worst teams the last decade in terms of how many wins we've gotten. We are one of the, like, I've looked up a stat. We only have like 176 regular season wins all time, which is, you think it's a lot, but compared to other teams like the Panthers, who came into existence just as we did, they have 195. The Baltimore Ravens came they came a little before us. They were at 214 wins. So like the regular season, we are one of the worst regular season teams, and we've only had maybe 5 playoff seasons, if my memory serves me correctly. No, maybe 5 to 7. But like 7 out of 25 is not good, and I can see where Ngakoue is coming from in terms of a winning culture. But in regards to why he wants out, the fact that he took a shot at the franchise in terms of primetime games, that was uncalled for. It's not our fault that we don't get the primetime games. We had a chance at those primetime games 3 years ago or 2 years ago after we went to the AFC Championship game, and then we started 3-1, and then the entire team went to crap after that.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Skylar does play into the players because they do make up the culture. But there comes a point where consistently we are not winning games, so I can see why Ngakoue wants out. He wants to have a better chance to win, which makes sense. Every player wants to get a Lombardi trophy. Every player wants to get a Super Bowl ring. So every player wants to get that and also get paid. And he wants to get paid and has a better chance of winning. Because right now in the AFC, there's probably not a great chance of winning because you've got Mahomes, you've got Watson. Well, not anymore without Hopkins, but you've got Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. So you've got great players to play against coming up. But in the NFC, all the quarterbacks that I can think of are kind of getting up there in age, and they are not as transcendent as Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, for example.
And I just want to kind of go off what you said too, like how you mentioned the players make the culture and such, and like, you're right about how Indianapolis, they had that culture while the players were there. And in 2017, we had a winning culture.
Yep.
And I think that's where our franchise makes a mistake, is we lean too much on the front office as opposed to the players. So I think it's more so he needs to go to a players culture team, like a team that, lets the players kind of dictate what's going on. And I think we're starting to see that happen more often. I think maybe it's just wrong verbiage, but it just took me the wrong way because, we had a winning culture that season,
Yep.
and we had that foundation the next season. We started 3-1, but we adapted to our old ways where we went front office over players. And I think, nowadays, like I said, players are starting to get the benefit of the doubt, and it's starting to pay off for teams when they trust their players and reward their players.
Well said. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there, Skylar. We're in a kind of predicament now because obviously we have him franchise tagged. I don't think he's gonna play a game. That's just me because I just with everything that he said, I don't see any reason why he would ever want to dress out for a game with this team because he's expressed so much displeasure with the franchise over the past couple weeks, which we never saw before. He kind of was one of those guys that would just tweet out, God bless, and just kind of just your run-of-the-mill athlete tweets that aren't very descriptive. That kind of just say like, I love myself, I love God, I love my family, stuff like that. And now he's going into more just attack mode, which we've already seen Jalen Ramsey all over that. We've seen Dante Fowler all over that. It's just we kind of failed with the front office with getting those guys with better attitudes. But you know what? The past is the past, and now we're just continuing to lose good players. So is this going to happen forever, or is this something that you think we can nip in the butt and maybe after Ngakoue leaves us for whomever, we can maybe get some structure back?
I don't know if it was necessarily an attitude problem with him. It became one later on.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying like right now towards the end, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I it's a problem now because of how everything was handled. So it's immaturity, but I think sometimes their attitude is what makes them great players too, to an extent. So I can't not expect this type of attitude from that type of player. It's the same as T.O. They're going to have personalities and such. They want what they expect is theirs, and that's just the run of the mill. So I'm not like upset their attitudes or like anything. I don't want 53 Paul Puzzlesnys on the team.
No, me neither. We're just gonna have to, I guess, just roll with the punches here. Every day that goes by.
I think with Tom Coughlin gone, I think that adapts to a player's culture more. So the players love Marone, and
exactly,
Marone's going to make sure it's a healthy environment. I mean, we can only presume. I don't know.
I was just about to touch on that. Now that Coughlin's gone, I can see that the culture being repaired, but I think it might be a little too late in terms of the current players on the roster. Ngakoue is on his way out, 100%. I doubt he plays another down here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And same with all the former players like Boye, Campbell, Telvin Smith forced himself to retire because of all this. I mean, granted, he probably had off-the-field issues, but and then Ramsey, Fowler, these players that have attitudes and big mouths, and well, minus Calais and Boye, but the others have they trash talk, and they're gonna get after it, and they're gonna be a headache for at least an old man like Tom Coughlin was. And Dave Caldwell right now is kind of suffering because when Khan put all that trust in Coughlin, it kind of set things back and it made things really extremely difficult in terms of keeping our star players. Because if we were able to keep those 5-6 players healthy and in Jacksonville with no issues, I really do think that we could have built something special here in Jacksonville. But unfortunately, because Coughlin is an old man stuck in his ways, ground and pound offense, listen to me or get the hell out, then it doesn't work. You have to work with your star players. And that's why I think what's happening in Houston is about to be a dysfunctional franchise again, because Bill O'Brien, granted he's the head coach, but he's also the general manager, had an issue with DeAndre Hopkins and shipped him out to Arizona. So that's going to happen with your star players. If you have an issue with it, they're going to take your ownership cannot take the side of the front office every single time. You have to work with your players, get the relationship repaired. I just think it might be a little too late for at least the current front office in Jacksonville and at the stadium, because Caldwell and Marone are honestly, I believe, on a 1-year deal to get it together. If they don't, see you later. We got a new front office coming in next year to help rebuild this team.
And
Go ahead, Skyler.
yeah, and we could potentially have 3 first-round picks next year with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields coming out too.
Potentially, but we may have 3 first-round picks this year, which makes me really annoyed with the fact that if whatever we traded Ngakoue for, we could have had a new front office, a new start, new everything, but yet we're still having some of the old issues still in the organization. But we'll see what Caldwell can do with this draft by himself for the first time since 2016, when he did hit on Jalen, Miles, Jack, and Yannick Ngakoue with the first 3 picks. So we'll see what
do you think
Dave will do.
Yeah, do you think they kept some of this front office just because of logistics, knowing that they'd have to go to 2 London games? They would need to know that they have a coach that knows how to handle that type of travel, because it would be really frustrating to give a new coach 2 London games.
Maybe,
Good
maybe,
call.
but I don't know. I mean, I think it's
That
interesting.
would be a really horrible decision just for that reason. But it's also, you can look at it as a competitive disadvantage coming in there with a rookie head coach or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's an interesting point you bring up about the 2 London games, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if they somehow miraculously win 6, 7 games, do you bring them back again for one more chance with a update with a new draft class? See how the rookies played this year if we have a football season, and then next year we'll see. I mean, if they win 6, 7 games, I don't expect Shad Khan to fire Marone and Caldwell. I think they'll bring them back another year and go for.
Yes, the NFL draft, as of, I think it came out yesterday, came out and said that everything is going to be online. So, given current and expected conditions, and to ensure that everything is handled responsibly in compliance with the CDC and all that jazz, they just got to go to an online platform. So we're going to see draft picks being drafted via Zoom or whatever, video that they decide on. And I think we've got some chance for some really radical stuff to happen, like somebody changing their background to something ridiculous, or somebody's dog coming in and like interrupting them getting drafted, or something silly like that. Like, what are you guys expecting? Like, ridiculous. I know you guys have some things in your head that could possibly go wrong or happen that'll just make this draft the most entertaining one ever.
Well, I guess it's the hat.
Oh yeah, you can't put on the hat.
No, wait, I think Skyler said the hacks or the hats. I don't know.
I said the hacks, but I was also wondering if they would ship jerseys and hats to the draft pick. I'm sure they got box lying around.
They most certainly could, but I don't see how they could do that live,
I mean, they'll have like several different options, I suppose, depending on whose house they set up at. I don't know, but I don't suppose they'll have jerseys. Maybe they'll hang jerseys up in a banner like a rafter.
They'll change the background on their Zoom call or whatever call they do. They'll change it to the background being like, whatever backsplash for the team. Because I see a lot of professional teams have been making them. I'm sure they'll make one for this.
So, do you think they'll have like Photoshop jerseys
in
the background?
That would be fantastic. Who's going to be the one that gets on without any pants on? They're just wearing their underwear.
Well, that was the combine.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, you're right. Someone's going to have
I feel like... Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, I was going to say somebody's going to have a bad internet connection and like miss a call or something like that. Things are going to be in shambles. I'm excited for it.
I'm interested to see how it's going to work. And I mean, the hats are something that's going to be interesting if they're going to have like maybe 4 hats to pick from. I think they might even delay it, like tape delay, I guess. I don't think they're going to be able to do it live because there's just too many factors that can contribute to it being a disaster. They might just do a little not tape delayed, but like maybe a minute behind or something. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to figure it out.
I mean, what if they lied to us, What if they did tape the whole draft? They went through they edited out all the mishaps and all the bad stuff and just released a clean cut copy for everyone to see. Like it's like an episode of like The Bachelor or something. Because, you know, Bachelor isn't filmed live. Everyone knows what the ending is already over when they start showing it on air.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Skylar. It's not in a live every week. It is pre-taped, but they should do that.
Yeah, I think I could see them doing that, but I also don't think the NFL is that smart to do it.
No,
But
well, they break everything, so I mean,
I don't know, man.
I think they'll just have hats there. I mean, they do it for like the late round draft picks. They still pull out.
yeah, they might do it
then.
then. It may be like the late round draft picks, like Skylar was saying, where they put the cameras on everyone. But the thing is, I don't know how it's going to work with all this CDC. Well, you're not going to have so many people. You're not going to have the massive draft parties anymore because, like, CDC says no social distancing 10 feet apart, or I'm sorry, 6 feet apart, and, like, no more than 10. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be very small.
Which team is going to get hacked?
Not the Jaguars. No, I just put a tweet out saying, like, if someone hacks the Jaguars, they're going to see how inept they are, and then they're going to be like, okay, they're fine. We don't need to hack them.
It's going to be like the Browns or the Bengals or something like that.
It's going to be why I have a feeling I can see the Giants getting hacked because Dave Gettleman hates technology, so it might be them.
Do you think someone will hack just in general and just put whatever draft pick they want? So, like, you know, with the 4th pick, the
or
pick
like
or
something like that.
Something is gonna happen. It's gonna be good television, and the memes will roll on forever.
And that's why I think they should tape it. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they're smart enough. They're not going to go that route. We're just going to be stuck with a very unedited, unclean cut of just a mess. I mean,
which I'm all here for because we need some entertainment right now.
Or, you know, maybe I don't think the NFL is that smart. Never mind. I was going to say it could be like the way NASCAR is doing with the iRacing. They've done such a good job with that. Mike, I know you don't care at all, but Skylar, have you caught any races this year?
I caught the initial Homestead one that with the where Junebug got wrecked by Hamlin.
Yeah. That was a bad wreck too.
It may have been a simulated racing, but I was real life mad.
I was watching the second race, which was at Texas, and my boy Biffle came back and raced that one. Him and Boyer got together, and I follow Biffle on Twitter, and I saw him actually he video called Clint after the race, said, "Yo, I'm sorry, man, we got into each other, my bad," because they actually have beef with each other from way back when. I'm sure they're over it by now, but they used to have beef during the racing days. So yeah. I thought that was pretty funny that they got together, but I digress.
I think there's something there. I think it's something that might last for a while because you can have legends of NASCAR race. I mean, how awesome would it be to like modify a sim car to look like one of Richard Petty's old cars?
Oh, absolutely. It'd be hilarious. I mean, did you see Bubba Wallace rage quit the other day? Yeah, he got into an accident, which was not his fault. It was Clint Boyer's fault. Back to him again. But yeah, he got annoyed and he just logged off because I think he was done for the day anyway. And he just cut out and went to trash talk Boyer on Twitter. It was quite amusing. If you haven't seen it yet, I'd recommend going to check it out. It was Boyer's fault, and this is just pure entertainment for us that have no real other sports to watch. So why not we do just fun stuff like rate jerseys? We hinted at it in the beginning, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers released their new uniforms. My initial thoughts, I love them. What do you guys think?
They're the classic ones.
Yes,
that's what the Jags should do.
Thank you. You said exactly what I wanted to say. They did exactly what the Jaguars should have done. They just cleaned up the old style. They still got the big flag on the helmet, which whatever, I don't really care about. But they went with their old look. The outline of the numbers are beautiful. The simplicity of them is just, it's not too simple like the Jags to where they look like the Raiders in their away jerseys. But it gets the job done.
Yep.
Well,
And
one
go ahead,
one
Skyler.
go for it.
Okay, so
No,
well,
you go for it.
one thing I did like is they got rid of those ugly alarm clock numbers.
They had to.
Like they had to do something because those were arguably one of the worst jerseys I've seen in football in the last decade. Because
They said they were disadvantaged because it woke up the opponents on the other side.
I mean, yeah, those
but
those were god awful.
they were
Those are the
terrible, and
worst
like
ones.
mixing red and orange together was not a good idea. But what they did with these uniforms, I did like. I did like the all whites and the all gray, which I learned they don't call it gray, they call it pewter,
Pewter,
just like how we
yes.
call it. They call
Yeah, it's supposed to be more metallic, but the materials they use nowadays aren't as reflective as they were back
yeah.
in the
So I
2000s
like
and
their
such.
all whites and all pewter, and I can see them. And now that they have Brady coming into town, so I can see them getting a lot more primetime games. So I can probably see a combination of the all pewters or all reds on the primetime games when they do get their Monday, Sunday night, or Thursday night football games.
They need to do. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I think. Well, I was gonna say you know, obviously people are clamoring for the creamsicles, but there's talk about eliminating the one helmet rule for the NFL. So we could theoretically see those, and then Jaguars throwbacks
Yes,
come
please.
next year. So that's. But there's like four other teams getting uniforms: the Rams and the Chargers, obviously, and then the Falcons are getting new uniforms, and then the Browns announced today that on the 15th they'll unveil their new uniform set. But like I expect the Rams and I expect all four of those teams to kind of go similar route with the Buccaneers, where it's like a modern take on their classic uniforms. The Rams obviously have that beautiful blue and gold coloring, so I think we're going to see some really nice looking uniforms from there. The Chargers got their powder blues as their main coming back, I'm sure, and that's going to look really nice. And then the Browns are going to dole it down back to their classics as well. I think they should put a logo of their
I
helmet on
saw
their
that
helmet.
on
That'd be
Twitter.
funny.
Can
Yeah.
we just talk about how the Rams just
And then
completely missed the opportunity with their logo and how bad it is?
Yes, there. It looks like I don't even know what to describe it. One who was I forgot someone said it looks like Donald Trump's hair on the LA letters. I thought that was funny because you can't unsee that now. Like it's bad.
It's
But good.
just their name.
Yeah,
it looks like a
it's pretty
cartoon.
bad.
It's just it looks almost like the Chargers. I mean, like they could have done a lot more. They could have put the whole ram in there, like those old ones that they had from like the 70s with the whole ram head on there with the detailed horn. Those would have been beautiful to use, but no, they decided to go with something new that kind of just I don't know. It looks kind of corny to me. I think they missed out.
Well, they're trying something. They got that new stadium. They want it to have only their marks, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's just agree that they're gonna suck.
All
right.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully
that's
they
obvious.
suck enough for a top 5 pick.
We know Ramsey's gonna suck enough
Yeah,
out there.
he can just keep chirping. He can keep catching them
Enjoy it.
balls.
Yeah, he'll enjoy a 3-13 record. Hopefully.
He's gonna be saying Bible verses to the strippers.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you.
Oh man.
Oh man,
He's no longer part of Jackson. Let's just move on from him.
Yeah, let's switch gears. All right, let's talk a little basketball. So, obviously,
I got the basketball.
obviously, the season has come to an end for now, but we got some exciting news the other day that The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan 10-part documentary series on the 1990 Chicago Bulls, will premiere on the 19th of this month. So,
and to be specific, Keith, I just looked it up. It's on the 1997-1998 Bulls season. It's Jordan's final year with the Bulls. So it'll be very interesting to see.
is that the first episode, or is that all?
No, that's the whole series is just that 97-98 season. So it's all based on one season.
That makes sense. The Last Dance, last season.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be over 5 weeks, so it'll go through May 17th. I don't know about y'all, but this is some content that I've been waiting for a while, and I'm excited to watch this.
This remind me like
Oh,
Space
please,
Jam.
no, it could not. This better be better than Space Jam. This is 5 weeks long, 2 episodes every Sunday. This has got to be one of this has got high expectations for me because I'm really interested to see what they cover and how that season went for Jordan, how they adjusted with Jordan, like his final year with them, and how the Bulls built such a great winner in that year, and also the previous 8 years.
And his 6th NBA title. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
we got a lot of good stuff in that regard coming ahead of us. I mean, I love 30 for 30. They've come up with a lot of cool stuff. They did the oh man, what was the Magic one called? It was about
The Magic Moment.
Magic Moment with Shaq and Penny. That one was great. Man, I enjoyed.
If you watch those back to back, is it 60 for 60?
I guess technically, yeah, it would be if you watched them back to back.
Okay, no, because each 30 for 30 is usually about an hour long, at least.
Well, 30 for 30, 30
Also,
plus
so
30
it's a
equals
120.
60, Mike.
120?
Yeah. No, I know, but you're saying 60 for, okay, whatever. Whatever.
You were saying something, Skylar?
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to help with the math.
I'm not a mathematician, but I can help out sometimes.
Well, I was also helping defend Mike's math solution with the hours. I said 100.
Oh my gosh.
Well, as we look ahead to this, there's a plethora of things that have not been made. Are there any 30 for 30 or any sort of sports documentary that you want to see made while we're sitting here in quarantine?
Skylar?
I would just like to see one about
that'd be a good one.
Taylor,
Starting at Florida and going all the way up.
See, I'm gonna go. I've got two I really want to see. One, I'm surprised you didn't say this, Skylar, since you're the Gator fan, but that 2006 to 8 run for the Gators in terms of the college football with the football players from Hernandez to Tebow to Riley Cooper to Urban Meyer, that is one I would love to see because that was I don't know how they have not made one yet, but doesn't help that Hernandez is dead, but that's probably a big reason why. And another one I want to see is like the rise and fall of what's it called? Of Florida State football, like how dominant they were in the 90s and then how terrible they were in the 2000s until they got back to prominence in 2013. So that is something, I mean, it's probably a lot longer, but something I want to see. Maybe just the 90s.
That'd be a docu-series right there. You could talk about, the Bobby Bowden era, the fall of the Bobby Bowden era, the beginning of the Jimbo era, the fall of the Jimbo. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
that would be a long one. But that Florida team, there's so much that went on with that team that we don't know about thanks to good old Suburban Urban. But I would pay money to see that. Mine would have to be the impact of the 2008-2009 Orlando Magic team on the NBA.
Okay, thank you. Did you see my tweet the other day about that?
I didn't know.
Okay, because I think it was ESPN NBA tweeted like how 4 teams or 5 teams did not win championships, but now they changed the game of the NBA. One of them was like the 03-04 Suns, and then there are other teams, but I'm like, they missed an opportunity to put the Magic on there and how they transformed the NBA really with the 3-point shooting into what it is now. And I'm like, that's a kind of a missed opportunity on ESPN for not listing the Magic as one of those top 4 teams that did not win a championship.
No, absolutely. They brought.
So is that? Oh, sorry. Well, I was just asking if like that. You're gonna highlight the 3-point shooting in that
Stan Van Gundy
documentary,
introduced
or talk about how like the LeBron and Kobe.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, but go ahead, Keith. You can explain more.
We could touch on that in the series, but the biggest thing was the introduction of Stan Van Gundy's offense, where he started in Miami, but really transformed when he got to Orlando, where it was basically you shoot the 3 and you get back on defense. The 3 and D. You want to play defense, but you take the 3. You don't worry about the rebound. The style of offense they played with Dwight Howard, where he was just a dominating force on the inside, but you had so many great perimeter players that you couldn't just crash the boards every time because Dwight would just box you out. I mean, there's so much that someone could do on this. I don't have the film expertise or the intel in order to get into this kind of information, but I would watch that a lot, and I would enjoy it, hopefully, except for when we lose in the finals. But thanks, Courtney Lee.
Never forget.
I think we can go ahead and hop into the fun part. I mean, that was a little fun right there. But Mike,
Here, before we get started, I want to say one more because I would think it would be cool to watch a documentary on Derrick Rose.
Bro,
too.
Derrick Rose and Brandon Roy. How about that?
I think there is one on Derrick Rose by Stadium. I think it's like an hour and a half, but it's not like it's not on TV. You have to stream it from your like computer or something. I think there is something on Derrick Rose, but I just don't know what it's about. I think it is about how popular he got growing up in Chicago and going to the Bulls. Yeah, so I think there is something on Derrick Rose, but I agree like how his career was one of the highest of all time, and then just fell down because of his injuries.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was definitely engrossed in reading something. I was actually watching the video of the 2013 national championship of everyone freaking out in the broadcast booth. You retweeted.
You're talking about Gene Deckerhoff, yeah.
Saying a true professional, and everyone else is freaking out in there. But sorry.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The other day when that national championship came on, I was streaming the national championship on my laptop while working for Florida Blue. Like I had my work obviously on my two monitors, and then streaming the game, and I was live tweeting the game like I was actually like interested in it. I mean, I already know what happened. But there was a bunch of Florida State Twitter that was live tweeting that game too. So that was really funny.
Good time.
The things we do in quarantine.
Right. And so that brings us to the fun that we're hopefully going to indulge with you all on. We want to make this to where you guys can input your thoughts on Instagram and or Twitter. Mike, go ahead. Take it away. What do you got for us?
All right, so lately I've been seeing a lot of one gotta go or pick 3 out of 9 choices, whatever the situation may be. Instead of giving 9 choices and pick 3, that's just too much, and we couldn't really specify a topic. I'm going with the one gotta go. So you pick one from these 4 options. Skylar, I'm pretty sure you've seen the post by people on Twitter. I know Keith has because me and him were talking about a pre-show. So we're gonna go based off some food options. So first up, we're going to go with tacos. So one's got to go. You got Taco Bell, Taco Lou, Cantina Louie, Tijuana Flats. Which of these has got to go?
I mean, I feel like I got to say Taco Bell.
Okay.
For that.
Keith? Oh.
Like, I understand budget purposes, but
I still have a soft spot for T-Bell. It's come in clutch for me quite a few times. I'm going to go Cantina Louie. I think it's overrated.
Yeah, I am with you, Keith. Cantina Louie, I think, is the most overrated taco place. It's expensive, and I'm just not a fan of the tacos compared to Tijuana, Taco Lou, and Taco Bell has been there way too many times for me, especially late at night when you're drunk.
Yeah, I'll go with y'all. Too.
There you go. So Cantina Louie as a whole is gotta go.
Tijuana Flats is my baby though, and if anybody says, "Oh, that's not tacos," it is tacos because I go.
There's tacos at Tijuana
Tuesday.
Flats.
I only go for Taco
Tuesdays
or Throwback Thursday. Get that burrito. Ooh, that's a fat burrito.
Yeah. But hey, if anyone, and this is going forward for any of the food choices, if anyone else has an option that we did not name, we just try to name some of the popular ones, but also trying to keep it local. Granted, Taco Bell is not local, but that's the only thing we can think of taco place.
There are other places that I mentioned that Mike did not know, like Lola's and stuff like that. So we left them
some of them.
If you haven't been to Lola's, please go. It is delicious. They have the most fantastic street corn of like anywhere I've seen in Jack. So check it out.
Yep.
It's in the King Street district.
Where's that at?
So it's over there by I guess
The Riverside Bars.
Two Dudes doesn't exist anymore, but yeah, it's over there by Keg and Coin and the Walgreens there. It's across the street.
Okay, cool. So next up, I know Keith is probably going to sit this one out, but because he doesn't eat red meat or burgers, really.
Just burgers.
Burgers. Let me correct myself. Burgers. So Skylar, which one of these has got to go? I'm hoping you've had all of these. M Shack, BurgerFi, Smash Burger, Epic Burger. Oh, great.
Okay, I've only had one of these.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna scratch it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
do you like
okay, we're gonna do
Whataburger?
Okay, I got it. We're gonna do Whataburger, McDonald's, Burger King, or Five Guys. One gotta go.
It's between McDonald's and Burger King.
Really?
I'm going with
Whataburger.
McDonald's gone.
Really? What?
I'm going Whataburger.
What?
I went to Whataburger
McDonald's
today, bro.
Okay. You're gonna get on the. You're gonna be like, I don't get you. Just
well, let me explain why I'm saying Whataburger.
I'll vote in this one. I'll say Burger King because I think Burger King is trash. So.
Oh, I don't know about that one, but I think Whataburger is just I don't know, man. McDonald's only above Whataburger because it's cheaper and it's I don't know. They're both not the greatest in my opinion, but I'd pick Whataburger over McDonald's.
Dang,
I'm not a fan of
Whataburger. Such a hot
Whataburger.
take on Whataburger.
I'm not a fan of Whataburger at all.
You say that.
That's
in Texas,
fine. I'm not
Mike.
going to Texas
You say
anytime
that.
Save
soon.
to
I'm
Mark
gonna give a
Brunell's
shot.
space, bro. Save to Mark Brunell's.
Yeah, okay. He went bankrupt because of that, so it's okay. But all right, so burger, those four. Let us know what you think. So next up, we've got wings. And Skylar, I hope you've had some of these.
Yikes.
Wingstop, Dick's Wings, Gators Dockside, Hurricanes. Again, trying to keep it local as much as possible.
Yeah, I've had all of those. I consider myself kind of a wing connoisseur. I've worked in the deli. I've fried wings, some of the best in the state. I would go far as say
Yeah, the
Publix has
Publix
some
is not
of
one of the
best wings in
choices
all
here.
of America, but I know. I'm just saying that's
No,
just going
Publix
back
has
on
some
my
good wings.
You take those
on
naked
wings.
wings home, the spicy ones, and you toss them in your own sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, they got a sauce that you might not know about called Home Sweet Sriracha. You ask for that, tossed on those, and those.
So wait,
you
just request it at the deli? You just go up and be like, "Hey, I want these 20 wings here, tossed in the Home Sweet Sriracha sauce."
Yep. They should have like those random flavors back there that you might not know about. Like there's a Gold Rush one. There's all sorts of different ones.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, back to the original question. I'm gonna have to go with
fair.
Hurricanes.
Okay.
Fair. I'm gonna second that one. Just because they're overpriced.
I am gonna go Gators Dockside only because I've not been there in so long. I've been to the other three more recently, so I don't remember how Gators like their wings are. But I agree, Hurricanes is a little overpriced.
Scooter sauce.
But they do have a lot of flavors.
Well, the last time I went to Gators was like 2013.
Hurricane has one of the best sauces around with the buffalo.
Yeah, they have a lot of sauces.
Parmesan, but well,
the
wings
sauce,
are good. I like their wings.
wings.
It's just they're so expensive.
That's the thing,
and that's what gets me, man. Like during this quarantine, Scott, our friend of the podcast, said that he went and got wings on like the wing deal night. Typically, they stopped the wing deal night due to the quarantine. How you gonna do that, man?
Annoying.
How you gonna do that? Wild Wing Cafe had a deal last week that was 30 wings plus a large pizza. Granted, that large pizza is like a flatbread, so it's not that big. But 30 wings and a large pizza for $25. That's an incredible deal.
That's a good deal. You want to get wings from you go
on Monument?
Didn't we get them, Mike? Or didn't we get them, Skylar?
Monument Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got them. No, I think we got them after we golfed that time. Well, I don't.
Well, we got burgers too. Their burgers are pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the wings. I got the burgers.
Yeah.
We just covered that you don't need burgers.
All right, so We differ on wings, but it's okay. So next up, we're going type of pizza. So I've got Chicago, thin crust, New York style,
Oh.
stuffed crust.
I'm biased here, but also it's not a biased answer. But I'm gonna go with
You're not a fan of
Chicago
Chicago
deep
deep
dish
dish?
pizza.
No, yeah. One gotta go, bro. One gotta
Oh,
go.
that's
One
my
gotta
favorite.
go. Like you're not
I
taking it.
you can eliminate. No, just eliminate the
Well, you
rest.
gotta pick one to
Eliminate the
eliminate,
rest.
though.
Just, all right.
All right.
Grab
Oh my
whichever
We're
god.
gonna say stuffed
okay.
crust for Skylar then. Okay.
No. Okay. Keep that. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Get
Okay.
rid of
Okay.
New York style.
I'm getting rid of stuffed crust because I used to be when I was a kid. I used to love the having cheese in the crust, but I'm not a fan of it anymore. Like I used to be, but not anymore because I just think it's an overload on cheese.
So I'm gonna be that guy and clarify here. New York style is already a thin crust, but are you talking about like that thin crust, like the crispity crunch crust?
That greasy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
getting rid
think
of
that's
that.
what
I
he's
hate
talking
that.
about,
I
right?
don't want my pizza to be like a potato chip. I want some substance to it. Chicago, I'm right there with you, Skylar. I may be an Italian boy,
Oh,
but
Chicago is
style
definitely
pizza
the
is the
best.
best, man. It's like a pizza, like casserole. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say pie,
Casserole.
but that's no.
Well,
Oh
that's what
man, now I'm
pizza
hungry for some Chicago style pizza. I miss Chicago pizza right there on Bay Meadows. That was my spot.
is. Oh man, so when I was in Chicago like a year ago,
Yeah, you did.
pretty
Yeah.
much today, because I flew up there for the game, and the game was a year ago. But anyways, I had like 3 mini deep dish Chicago style pizzas.
Jeez, I want to
Lou
go there.
Malnati's.
That's
It
the
was
only
so
reason I
good.
want to go to
Nice.
Chicago. I hate the teams there. I just want to go for the pizza.
Yeah. Same here. I got one more. One gotta go. We got donuts. Type of donuts.
Yikes.
So I got glazed donuts, chocolate donuts, cream filled donuts, cake donuts.
You said
Really?
cake?
I'm gonna go cake donuts out.
I'm with.
Are we thinking the same
Donut Shop
thing,
has
Ty?
the
I don't
best
know.
cake donut
Explain
on the
that
planet,
more.
where it's just like a
Yeah,
plain.
donut shop is
It's
good.
a plain cake donut with like chocolate dipped on top. It's fantastic. Or Krispy Kreme has I think a delicious blueberry cake donut. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm going with chocolate.
Yeah,
I don't need a
I'm
chocolate
going
donut.
chocolate.
Maybe
I'm
I'll
going
keep
chocolate.
it
I'm
the
going
flavor.
chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get rid of chocolate because this with
Yeah,
cream filled.
it's
Does that
filled donut.
classify
Yeah,
We'll
I
go
was.
with
jelly
filled
filled as
donut. How
Oh,
about
yeah,
that?
filled donut. Yeah.
Jelly filled, raspberry
Yeah,
jam,
I'll go
or
chocolate.
just regular cream, not the Bavarian cream, just regular like terrible for you cream donuts are fantastic. Lemon, that's good too. Oh, they have the
I like
apple one
lemon.
at Krispy Kreme. God, I'm showing my fat side. I gotta I gotta lose weight. Oh,
But who cares? Now, all I know is that all these places and all these type of foods, we'll get them all back soon, hopefully.
yes. And with that, that's all you had, Mike?
That's all the ones that one gotta go. Yeah, for food.
I'm surprised you
What am
didn't
I
do
do with
chicken
chicken
tenders.
tenders?
I'll eat chicken tenders anywhere, bro. There's none that are gonna
Yeah,
go.
chickens. I don't think there's the one bad chickens.
Yeah, but there's
Okay,
like
no,
the Luke
I was
chicken
just going with
tenders,
basic,
and
like the
then there's
big things people go with: tacos, wings, burgers, and pizza. Like those are the top four, and
Save
donuts.
that one for next
Donuts just
episode,
was the
Skylar.
last.
We'll do that one next episode. All right, you come up with a good spot. Okay.
well,
Okay.
we can't do
Well,
food next
with
episode. We'll
that,
do
I think
something
that's
else.
about all we've got today. We appreciate y'all sticking with us to the end here. I did want to mention, please stay safe. If you do need to go out, shop local. Winn-Dixie has been one of the greatest. Shameless plug here. Winn-Dixie has done great with how they're handling everything right now. They're super clean. They got wipes. They got everything. Just be smart. Make good decisions. Don't go out unless you have to. Don't put anyone else in risk that you don't have to. And hang out with us. Listen to us. Give us ideas for anything you might want to hear on the pod. We got some things in the works right now too, outside of just the actual podcast, more of our actual I don't know how to word this. Just where we're hosted, I guess. Website might be in works, but all of that is coming to be with all this extra time. Hopefully, we can get it up sooner rather than later. But for today's episode, I'm Keith Manzi alongside Skylar Chase and Mike Yazji. We are signing off. You all have a wonderful day.